see everybody today. I'm Chris Rodos. I'm here to introduce our speaker for today, Mr. Brandon Crooms. He's a PhD candidate in physical education, teacher education program at the University of Texas at Austin. As an undergraduate student here at North Carolina A&T State University, he helped install the first honor society for the sports science and fitness management major and served as the president. His research includes the intersection of Christianity, race, and sport. Through his research, he hopes to gain a deeper understanding of the relationship of the Christian faith, athletic identity, and racial identity in African American adolescent male student athletes. Brandon has connected with athletes at various levels, coaching youth sports, mentoring student athletes, fitness coaching, and playing basketball up to the semi-professional level. He's also the founder of Arise Sports and Fitness, a program that provides fitness coaching and basketball skill and development. With his education, he wishes to continue to promote physical activity, academic achievement, and holistic development in underprivileged communities. Let's give him a warm welcome.
Can you guys hear me? Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna project my voice. I'm not gonna use the mic because I like to move around when I present. I just want to first say that I know we're kind of short on time, and I apologize for the late start, but I just want to say that I'm so glad to be here. This is home for me. I'm an alum of the illustrious North Carolina A&T State University. We're here for undergrad, 4 years. I got my degree and decided to pursue a higher education. So this is home for me. Not only this is home for me academically, but I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina. So I'm a Carolina person, no Kakalaki. And yeah, this is home, but I come before you from University of Texas, as you can see. So that's where I'm pursuing my doctoral degree. Before I get started, I just want to give special thanks to God, and not only God, but my family, my parents, who've been supportive of me since day one. And they're here right now. They could have been at a family reunion. We have a family event that's going on this weekend, and they decided to take off work. My sister, so I just want to honor you and my parents, who've been my hero, my shiro, my whole life, and my sister, who's actually been my shiro today. I actually left my suit, though. I left my suit in Charlotte, but my sister was already coming up, and she picked up my suit, so we're ready to go. I'm here. I'm ready to go. So thank you. Thank you. Think of the Mantle, developing a healthy relationship with your academic mentor. All right, I just want to give a quick snapshot of my background. He already gave some of my background history as far as academics. 4 years of North Carolina A&T State University. I got a degree in human performance leisure studies, specialized in sports science, specialized in pre-physical therapy, and decided to go to the University of Pittsburgh, where I got my master's degree in sports medicine and nutrition. And then for some reason, I decided to continue school and try this PhD thing. And here I am now working on my PhD in physical education, teacher education. That's a long name, right? Sometimes I have to remind my mom what I'm remind my mom what I'm studying. It's such a long name, but I understand, I get it. Now, this is an illustration of my journey. Everybody has a journey, right? Specifically with my academic journey. I wouldn't have been here without not only the support of my family, but the support of my mentors, which I'm going to talk about today. My mentors installed in me, they educated me, they helped me to navigate through the process. They wrote letters of recommendation for me to go to the next step. So I just want to acknowledge that, but I also want to share with you guys that it can really help you if you focus on developing a healthy relationship with your academic mentor. It's almost like you're dating, right? You're going on a date and you're trying to impress this person. And this person have all these great attributes, things that you love, and you know that they have these attributes that actually going to help you as well. It's the same way. It's actually the same way. And I just wanted to share this with you in hopes that a lot of you guys will take advantage of this to make your experience more enriching and more enjoyable, like Dr. Clark had mentioned downstairs. Just a quick survey, how many first-year doctoral students? 2 years, second year. Third year? 4 years? Okay, good. You're in the right place. Because from what I understand, this is the early stage of the doctoral program. So, very good. All right, moving on to the presentation. The PhD program, it could be a very tedious, it could be a very long, and it could be anxious, right? You know that you have a date set in time. I'm gonna be done within 3 to 5 years, so let's say 4 years. That 4th year coming, I'm still working on my proposal, still working on my dissertation. My research is a little behind what I'm gonna do. You start getting anxious. And then, where you are right now, you're just kind of getting in the program, and there's some things that you have to learn, like Dr. Clark said downstairs. He was all over my mess, I just want to let you know. So you're gonna just bear with me. I'm gonna say a few things that he already said, but I promise you we didn't come together to plan this. You not only have to get a PhD in the actual content that you're studying, but you got to get a PhD in being a PhD. So there's things that you have to learn. And one of the things that what we call in academia is the hidden curriculum, right? There's some things that you have to know, you have to learn, and not everybody's there to tell you what's coming next. There's some stuff you just gonna have to learn your own. And some stuff you just don't know what to ask, right? Anybody been there? Where you just don't know what to ask. But unless you experience it, then you start having the questions to ask. So you know the time is ticking. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. It's coming. But also, we've been blessed with an academic mentor who served as a, what is that right there on the right? Compass. A compass. So it kind of navigates, it kind of guides you to where you should go. It just kind of helps you along the process. So with that, it can actually help maximize your time as a doctoral student through the guidance of your mentor, right? So throughout this presentation, I'm going to give you 9 points or 9 nuggets that you can take from my experiences that you guys can identify, relate to, or can actually grab for yourself. Now, this is from my experiences. I know that everybody's experiences are different. People have different academic advisors, so by no means, just take things as a grain of salt and see what you can grab for this, okay? All right, so the whole pick up the mantle, where did I get that from? So it's actually a biblical idiom. It's a metaphor. It comes from the story in the Bible of Elijah and Elisha. Anybody heard of that story? Okay, so we have a few people that went to Bible school growing up. So Elijah was actually a prophet. He was somebody that people looked up to for answers, some guidance. He served as a mentor. So he decided one day as he was walking, he saw a young boy that was doing some work for his parents. And he took up his cloak or mantle, however you want to call it, and threw over his shoulders. That symbolizes, I want you, you're going to follow me, and you're going to be the next, right? You're gonna be the next to come in line after me. So Elisha decided to, oh man, this is my time. I'm ready to go. I wanted this my whole life. I wanted to be a mentor. So he ran back home to his parents. I gotta go, and decided to follow him pretty much up until he deceased, or left actually. So years went by. He learned a lot from this prophet. He was a prophet in training. He was under his tutelage. And Elijah knew that he was actually going to leave this world. He was going to ascend into heaven. He was going to be taken away. But Elisha knew that, so he didn't want him to leave. So he stood by his side the whole time, shoulder to shoulder, shoulder to shoulder. But Elijah was trying to get away from him because he knew his time was up. But Elisha said, "No, you ain't going nowhere without me. I'm going wherever you go." So at the time, Elijah gave up. He was like, okay, I know you know I'm about to leave, so what do you want from me before I leave? And he said, I just want your spirit double portion. So I want what you have. I want the gifts that you have. I want the talents you have. And he went off, and as he went off, he dropped off his cloak, which symbolizes the all the gifts that he had. So he became the next in line. So the reason why I chose this idiom, because I saw a lot of similarities, and it's very much similar to sometimes our relationship with our mentors. Specifically with me, I see a lot in my mentor, not just in academically, but I see his personal life. He's a man of integrity. He's a man of faith, somebody I aspire to be like growing up. So I try to rub shoulder to shoulder with him, learn as much as I can, because I know one day that it's going to be my time to be where he is right now. So I just want to show this quick video of my academic mentor, and this is actually one of his doctoral students, who's a professor at Duke University now, talking about their relationship in mentoring. Oh, if I can get this started. Well, that's okay. We'll keep moving. So basically, in this video, Dr. Harrison is talking about creating an enriched environment and learning as his mentor. So as his mentor, he sees his strengths, he recognizes his strengths, he recognizes some of the things that he needs to enhance and spend more time mentoring, and he recognizes that. Now, the interesting thing about his name is Dr. Martin Smith. Dr. Martin Smith has an athletic background. His dad played for the Golden State Warriors, very famous in the community of Golden in Oakland. Very proud of his dad. His dad passed away, but he had two sons who were very much into basketball, went up to the collegiate level, played for University of Cal Berkeley. So he had that experience. Dr. Harrison recognized that. So he took him on as a student, and he knew that he wanted to do research involving race and sport and education. He wanted to be involved with the community. He wanted to, he had a heart, not just to do research, but actually get involved with the community. So he found strength in him, and he said that he embraced these type of students because they bring a certain experience that non-student athletes don't have. So because of that, they became really good. They had a good relationship, and the relationship wasn't just the time of the doctoral programs, but it actually expanded beyond that, and they became good friends, and he valued that. And then Dr. Smith also talked about the times he would go to his office for advice, and Dr. Harrison said he loved that because he felt valued enough, that he think that so highly enough to ask him questions about life. So it can really make your time at the doctoral program a little bit more enjoyable. Okay, first step, know yourself. Learn how to be comfortable with yourself. When you're talking with your academic advisor, be yourself. Like I said, a lot of stuff I want to say, Dr. Clark already said. So when you're going into the program, don't feel like you have to be somebody else. Let them know who you are. What makes your identity? What is important to you? And communicate and share this with your academic advisor. Why? Because this is the person that you're going to be working with for the next 3 to 5+ years. You don't want them to get a phony or fake. How else are they going to be able to help you, assist you, if you're given something totally different, right? Personality, understanding what works with you as far as different personalities. Are you the type of person that you need somebody to be on you to get your work done? Or you don't really need anybody. You can just come in, talk with your advisor, your mentor. Uh-oh, one of the programs. I'll stay here. You don't really need that person to really check up on you like that. So you just got to know the personalities, if that personality works well with you as far as different scenarios and circumstances. And also the dynamic of gender difference. I've had mentors that were women, and I have a mentor now that is a male. Now, talking with my academic advisor, he told me some things that he has to look out for his women mentees, out of respect. Sometimes if he have a time with his mentee, he has to understand that because of different experiences, he has to do certain things to see how he can reach them, right? Sometimes when they come in the door, from their experiences, it shapes and it shapes how he can relate and talk to that person, which is very important in developing a relationship. Confidence, not arrogance, right? Sometimes some professors can be threatened by your personality. They can be threatened by the way you portray yourself. It's good to be confident, but don't come as if that you know everything. Remember, you're learning from them, right? One of my professors in my research committee, he actually spilled out. You know, sometimes you talk with people, they just kind of open up, and you're like, whoa, I didn't expect that. Okay, let's keep it professional. But he just opened up about his students. And he said that he has to remind his students that, hey, I'm the mentor, I'm the professor. Remember that, okay? So you're not in competition with your mentor, okay? They're here to help you. All right, number 2, study your academic mentor. What is your academic mentor's background? What are their research interests? What are some of the things they like to do? What are some of the things that that gets them excited? That all helps in actually showing that you care not about what they can do for you, but you care about that person, all right? My academic advisor, he's actually, I mentioned he's a man of faith, so he's a preacher. He has a church. So on Sundays, every now and then I'll come and show up, he don't know, and I'll just come there and support him and fellowship with him and his church family. Something about that shows that you really care, right? You're building that relationship. You're building a relationship with not him, but also the people that shows up at those type of events, his family. So that really helps in the relationship too. Also, get to know your current and previous doctoral students. Now, those guys are no longer doctoral students. They already have their PhDs. They're professors. But I don't look at them as just friends, but those are my brothers. Those are my brothers. Guy I mentioned before, Dr. Martin Smith at Duke University. Marcus Johnson's at Texas State University. And then you have Dr. Clark, who's at University of Texas at San Antonio. We don't just talk about academics. Sometimes we come together and go to each other's homes, their apartments and houses, and we just kick it, have a good time. And every time we have a question concerning academics or academic advisor, who we all share, except for one, that also helps too. You get to know them even more, coming from people's different perspectives. Now I want to talk about the importance of studying not just your academic advisor, but their previous doctoral students. Now when you study who they are, what they're doing, and their line of research, you actually get a chance to have an understanding of what helped them get to where they are right now. Because where they are is where you eventually want to be. These are very interesting scholars. Dr. Albert Bamper, who was a professor at Colorado State University, not only is he a professor, but he's an associate athletic director. He's a former NFL athlete, got a ring with the Colts. Played with Peyton Manning. He worked with my professor. Because I know him, I have a connection with him. So I can speak to him, I can reach out to him. Our reunions are the conferences that we have. Dr. Langston Clark, who is my friend, not only is he my friend, but he's also been my mentor since I was here in undergrad. When I was in undergrad, he showed up in one of the induction ceremonies as a up-and-coming scholar at the University of Texas. He came back to visit. He saw me speak. I took it upon myself to say, hey, I want to be where you are right now. What can I do? So he gave me some advice. He gave me his business card, along with other people he did, but he told me that I was the only person that reached out. And ever since then, we connected, and now he's serving as my friend, mentor, and pretty much why I'm here presenting right now. Dr. Martin Smith, Duke University, I spoke to you guys about him before, and Dr. Alvin Logan, he's at Seattle University, also former student athletes. So there is some connection that we have being involved with sports. They've already been through the ropes. So whenever I have questions, I can talk to them. I'll give them a phone call. Dr. Alvin Logan texted me a couple of weeks ago. Hey, how you doing when you're writing, man? Just checking up on me, make sure I'm good. So when your professors see that you actually develop a relationship with his previous mentees, it shows that you're really serious about this. And when he sees that you're really serious about this, sometimes they will go out their way even more to make sure that your doctoral program will be what you need it to be. And not only that, but in your career. Shadow your academic mentor. You are the prodigy representative and the mentee of your mentor. So when people see you, that you represent them, him or her. Be present. What I mean by present is be around. Show that that you care, and show that you actually want to be a part, and that you want to be in the circle. And when I'm going into more detail, I'll give you an example. Before I had my own office, I would go outside of Dr. Harrison, my mentor's office, and there's a table right there, and I would do work there before he even come early in the morning. So when he come in, he see me. I'm the first person he sees before he goes to his office. And when he does that, it's just afresh in his mind that, oh, it's Brandon right here. Hey, how you doing? Ask him how your advisor's doing. Good morning. That makes a difference. And I'm gonna tell you an interesting why this is so important. Professors, they get emails all the time, right? All throughout the day. A lot of times they check their emails. A lot of stuff they see is in the morning. So when they get emails, some emails are opportunities, internships. There are jobs. There are GA, TA positions. And people are looking for people to fill those positions. Now, when you constantly around and the professors see you a lot, you're the first person that it's going to come up in their mind. So just be strategic about where you are in a space, where you fill up your presence, because that matters. That makes a difference. Ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Remember, your professor was where you are right now. So the questions that you had, they had before. Now, some of those, some questions, it may to them may be very elementary, fundamental. So if they give you a side eye like, okay, you should know this, don't take it offensive. In fact, he said that to me a few times. Like, okay, you should know this, and that's a good thing. That lets me know where I need to be. So I asked him a question. Okay, you should know. You should know this. I'm like, all right, okay, and then he'll help me with that. Graduate assistant and teacher assistant. If you have an opportunity to work with your professor, with your mentor, do it. Do it because you're spending more time with them. Not only spending more time with you, but they actually get a chance to witness how you work. And this is important when you need somebody to write you a letter of recommendation. Now, if you are sending out, because a lot of you guys are going to be applying for jobs soon, you're going to need a letter of recommendation. When the schools or wherever you apply to see that your letters are not coming from your advisor, they're going to get a side eye about that because you're spending most of your time with them. So that should be your first person that you go to for a letter of recommendation. So if that opportunity comes up, take it. Learn from them. Learn how they teach. Learn how they do the research, and take what you can get. A lot of old folks back in the day would say, take the meat, throw out the bone. So that means you take out the good stuff and you throw out the stuff that you really don't need. Same thing when you following and learning from somebody else. Something that you feel like you can use, take it. There's nothing new under the sun. So learn. Follow your academic mentor. I'm telling you guys, this will help. Dr. Clark talked about how just a lot of responsibilities and duties that you have as a doctoral student. And one of the important things as a doctoral student is to network, get your name out there, talk to people, go to some of these conferences, events. Now, we don't always have time to do that because we're always working on our schoolwork, working on publications, the time that it takes to submit certain things. So sometimes you need somebody to kind of hold on to their coat to jump on, the opportunity to jump on. For example, this picture right here was at a national conference, American Education Research Association, AERA. So one of the main educational conference in the world, really. I was able to work with my professor, my mentor, and some other colleagues because I was just associated with them. So that gave me an opportunity to go to a conference, meet people, people see me, and they know that you're actually your mentor's mentee, okay? So look for those opportunities for you to actually get into a project, do something with the other professors, and get connected with them. Also, at these conferences, your professor know people. They know people. So when you go to these conferences, when you're rubbing shoulder to shoulder with your academic mentor, make sure you're around because they will introduce you to people. And at some of these conferences, they have dinners. They have little, what do you call it? Receptions, where there's nothing but just professors and doctoral students. Follow them, shout at them. I was able to go to the dinner with a lot of them, particularly those in physical education, teacher education. And I was able to interact with them just because I followed my mentor. Initiate projects with your academic mentor. You have ideas about research, share it with your professor. When they see your excitement and passion, they love that because it shows that you feel like you're doing something that you love to do. Not only that, but they like to see that you're actually taking the time to interact with other students in your program and bringing them together and you guys working together. It's a doctoral program, but also it's important that you work with other people. Whether it's publications, whether it's research projects, or just in anything in general. Anything that's related to your academics and you doing something together, that the collaboration means a lot. And if you have an opportunity to take up a leadership role, take that role. Be a leader. Not only that, but it gives you an opportunity to be the first author of publications, because we need publications, right? You need to be writing. So just take on these opportunities to actually step up, to level up, some people may say, to different opportunities. Educate your academic mentor. Your academic mentor doesn't know everything. Remember that you're taking some classes that it didn't exist when they were in school. So if there's something that you learn, some theories, some things that, all this stuff is new information, new knowledge is constantly, even right now, people come with something new. So you always have something to share with your academic mentor. When you go into class, I can't tell you how many times I'm talking to my mentor about something I learned. He was like, and he'll stop and listen. He'd be like, oh, I didn't know that. And that's new information for them. So anything that you learn from your classes, from your research, seminars and conferences, and not only that, but if there's opportunities for you to network and you meet another professor or another student that you feel like your advisor, it will benefit your advisor as well, bring them on too. I met a professor at a different university. I noticed that he was doing some things that was an interest of mine. I was just wanted to meet people. And I told him about my research and I told him about my academic mentor. So one day, that professor drove from another town all the way to University of Texas, Austin, just to talk to me again and to meet with my academic advisor. So we're creating a network together. So that adds to our relationship and makes our experience more enjoyable. Go if you're invited. I remember this is one of the first advice that Dr. Clark gave me. He said, if these professors tell you to go somewhere, go. Go. Non-academic activities. My mentor did a collaboration grant writing project with another professor in the program to actually build and establish a center in China that educates people in China on physical activity in sports culture. So they're having a better understanding of how sports and physical activity is done in the US. So they got the grant, and the part of the grant is that they take doctoral students and they basically go on a tour from university to university all over China to give a presentation about our specific research interests. And that's all we did. We went to China for 3 weeks. It's a long 3 weeks in a different country. But we actually had a chance to share our research, and that's something that we could always take with us. So I'm glad I went. I'm glad for the experience, and I'm glad that I had him to push me to go. Not only that, I had opportunities to go to Cape Town, South Africa, Ethiopia, Bermuda, Canada, just to present, all because of my university. Go to these program meetings, interest meetings. If he tell you to go, there's a reason why he or she's telling you to go. Speaking engagement, panels, study abroad opportunities, and accept requests. Accept requests. I find my mentor actually asking me to do a lot more now. And that's the thing. If you don't want to be bothered too much, don't do as much as what I'm saying now. If you don't mind, there are some benefits to it. But just know that he or she may be asking you to do more things. For an example, whenever we have new students, potential students, I'm always the first person. I know that I'm the first person to give the tour and talk about the program. And maybe a little bit about my personality as well, but there's a request, I accept it. There's a request, hey, there's this mentor program. I think that it will be helpful for you and it will be helpful for the new student. Okay, I'll do it. So accept requests only if you feel like you can do it. Okay, you're not just yes sir. I mean, you know what I'm saying. Like you pick and choose what you're able to do. Okay, make sure you know that as well. Show that you care about your field. Okay, It's important to me that people know that I'm passionate about what I'm studying. I'm not just in the books and just reading and writing, but I'm also engaged in the culture of physical activity and sport. Okay, this one picture is of me just participating in the Urban Fitness Expo at Houston-Tillotson, which is also HBCU, the oldest university in Austin, the only HBCU in Austin. So just showing my support for physical activity, even within the minority community. So I just love what I do. I get invited pretty often to teach, be a guest lecturer or guest speaker at my colleagues' classes. So I'm on my way, I'm teaching basketball. I have opportunities to teach different classes related to physical education, sociology, things related to that. And not only that, but I took it upon myself to take a little step further, and I did my own outdoor boot camp for students. You know, so I know that as students it can be very stressful, but that was my way of giving back. And I just loved what I was doing. My academic advisor, he knew that, and he supported that. Because I feel like he sees a little bit of himself in me as a doctoral student. He studied the same thing, he did the same things, so he saw that there was a need and importance in that as well. Okay, and the last one is keep your mentor informed. Now there's going to be opportunities left and right. And I told you guys that I went out the country, I did so many different things, which is good. But sometimes, if you accept too many things, it could be a hindrance to what you're there for. Right? You come there to graduate, you're going there to get your PhD. So it's important that you let your academic mentor, because they can see 2 or 3 steps ahead of you, because they already been there. So make sure you let them know. Registration for classes. If there's your professor, your mentor, can help you in identifying what classes that you need to help you set you up for success. Whether it's the professor, if you know about the professor, something that he or she doesn't really like about that person, or something that he like about that person, just be open to that. Your mentor will tell you about the job market. When is the right time to go? Because if you go too soon, too early, that can sometimes mess up your journey as well. Research articles and submissions. Let them know that you're collaborating with other students. Be open for advice. Be open for feedback. Research projects. Talk to them about that. Dissertation committee. That is very important because they know things that you don't know about faculty and staff. Sometimes there could be drama that we don't even know about. And if you pick very good people to help, right intentions to help for certain things in your dissertation, they can help you, they could be on point. But if those faculty don't like each other, that's a whole other war that you're gonna have to go against, okay? So just be intentional and be open to ask them, like, do you know about the relationship with these two professors? How are you working with this, right? Because that can actually slow your process as well. It can end up turning to a competition game. And include your mentor. I said it before, make sure they know. Be open for advice. And before I end this presentation, I wanted to let you guys know about my past mentors. Dr. Caitlin Allison was my mentor at University of Pittsburgh. Dr. Geronimo Rotish, who's still here at North Carolina A&T State University, and Dr. Brenda Swearingen, who's at Guilford College now, but she was here when I was at North Carolina A&T. Played a very huge part on building me up, serving as a scaffold, so I'll be ready for the next level. So make sure you don't forget about your previous mentors. I have a relationship with them. I can reach out to them and talk to them. They still communicate with them, and it's very important because they all of them wrote a letter of recommendation for me to get the next step. And so don't forget about your past mentors as well. So it's the end of my presentation. Thank you. It's my contact information. Please contact me if you have any questions, and I'll open up for questions for anybody have. Thank you. Yes.
So, given that San Antonio is pretty much a non-black city, and so is the University of Texas at Austin, what role did you see your advisor being a black male? How does that play into your success getting to where you are? Was that a direct choice, or was it the university match y'all together because you're a black male?
It was my choice, and it played a huge role in our relationship, especially when he's doing research involving race, and he had some experience of some microaggressions, some discrimination along his path. So because of that, he was able to, in a way, tell me things to help me to not just avoid it, but to look out for it. So there's some things that we bring up in a conversation that I know wouldn't be in a conversation if I had a mentor who was a white male. So because of this experience, it helped me as a black male to help to navigate through academia that can sometimes be, sometimes you can really feel the systematic racism in that as well.
Sorry. I guess, is it okay to just stay with one mentor if you feel really comfortable with them? Or should you just kind of have multiple people you can see? Because I've gotten most of my degrees from A&T, and I have a mentor. I had one mentor before, then I switched to the mentor I'm with currently. I've been with them for years or something.
Okay. It's a good question. Very good question. I think that you really have to know your mentor. Really know your mentor and establish your relationship with your mentor, because sometimes mentors may get jealous or they may not like that because it's taking away some of the time that they want from you. And being open with them. Let them know, communicate with them, let them know that, hey, there's somebody else that I would like to work with, or there's something that I want to work with as far as them, with there being any problems concerning that. Now me, even though I talked a lot about my academic mentors, I have a lot of mentors. Dr. Clark is one I mentioned before, but there is a network that's very different than, compared to a lot of PWIs. Even though I go to a PWI, predominantly white institution, I was able to be in a network that felt a lot like a HBCU. So I knew a lot of black professors. I worked with a lot of black professors, and they also cared. I was able to go to Cape Town, South Africa, because of a professor that I worked with as a TA. I TA for him as well. Now he's the vice president of the division of community engagement. So that's like the second man next to the president. So because of that, there's power in that. There's more opportunities in that. So I think it's really important that you communicate with your mentor, let them know, and just kind of see how they're going to do that. Good question. Yeah.
Regarding your committee for your dissertation, do you interact with those professors, like in any research, or are you just primarily with your advisor?
I haven't done any research with them particularly, but I have done something with them. Whether it's doing a presentation with them, whether going to a conference with them. Not only that, but I have gone to lunch with them. They've invited me to lunch. That's important too. You'll notice that sometimes a professor will take you out for lunch. Go to those opportunities to go, because it gives you more time to talk to them in a less strict type of environment. You know, so some way, some form, I've interacted with them. And I've also I was in their class, so it's just some way, some form, I've interacted with them. Any more questions?
All right, let's give Mr. Crooms. Have a certificate of appreciation presented to Brandon Crooms in recognition of your contribution as presenter at the Spring 2019 Type 3 Graduate Scholars Symposium.
Thank you.